Hello everybody and welcome. Today we have a new video about the beautiful thing that I just got yesterday. I played all day with it and now I have at least some first thoughts that, believe me, I have not really been surprised in a controller that long. And I'm gonna explain why. So the product I'm talking about is the NYXI Warrior. This is a GameCube style controller. Actually, not a GameCube style controller. This is a GameCube controller. Can be uh, connected to a GameCube with the receiver. So it works like a Wavebird, but it does way more. First, obviously, it has a rechargeable battery inside. You don't need to use double A's. You can connect it wirelessly to your Wii or your GameCube with this. And the biggest thing for me is that you can put it also obviously on the Switch. And not only that, but also it works as a Bluetooth controller, so you can have it on PC, you can have it on whatever. If you want to use it with your iPad or whatever, you can use that as well. So everything that would potentially work with a controller that is wireless or even wired will work with this. The only way that you would think that this does not work is that this does not work wired on a GameCube. So you cannot get a USB-C to a GameCube and put it in and it will work. It won't. It will work with with the receiver, and that is pretty much always fine. And you can even, what you can do is, if you for some reason you don't have any spare place to put your controller wired, when you're playing with other people that have the GameCube adapter, you can plug it in on the GameCube adapter and it will work all the same. You can just connect it with it and it will work. You can even do this the same for everything. So if you want for connections to be even better, because this is using 2.4 gigahertz, which is obviously way better than Bluetooth latency wise, you can use the little dongle that they have here. You can connect it and you can put it on PC, on your Steam Deck, or whatever you have, Dolphin, emulator, or whatever else you want to do. Anything you think you can do, you can probably do it with this. Let's get a little bit on the controller. I'm guessing here because I have never seen a product this amazing. I took a chance on getting it because I have bought the previous controller, which was for Joy-Con replacement, but I didn't really like the middle rack, and I didn't really like that they make you buy this, like the replacement that you can charge the thing with the USB-C. I really started looking them suspiciously. I didn't want to buy anything else from them because of that. Like, I just didn't like it. Even though I like this a lot, I didn't like what they did there. But I'm a sucker and I got it. And I have to say, uh, it's just the best thing I have ever seen from a controller. It's the most complete thing that you can think of. I don't think there is anything more to do here. So what they have done already is that they have made it as to work as a Switch Pro controller. They have made it also to work as a GameCube controller. So you can have it working in every kind of system that we know today that will work with a GameCube controller, or with something like this that will be a Bluetooth controller. This is bigger. This is more like a copy of Wavebird, and that is why a little bit bigger. So I think people understand now these days that these controllers are not gonna be used by kids. It's like an arcade stick. No kid gonna use an arcade stick. They're gonna use a normal controller. But for boomers and for people that wanna be boomers to play Smash, if you get this, this is amazing. I like. Let's start, okay? Let's start. First, obviously, they have, as the previous controller, it has Hall effect joysticks. Now they took it a step further and they put Hall effect triggers as well. The only thing that I have a con on this controller, like a major con compared to feeling wise on the controller, is these triggers. So normally on the normal GameCube, when you're pressing it down, you feel the tension from the spring. Now there is a lot of people that go above and beyond to remove that feeling, but personally, because I'm not a competitive player on Smash or anything, I like that feeling. The feeling that when you're pressuring down the trigger, the spring kind of makes you feel a resistance, like a high resistance is there. This has a resistance, but you can feel that it's like kind of artificial. But what they have done, and I appreciate this even more than them trying to recreate that feeling, is that they have made it adjustable. So you see now it works like the PlayStation 5 Edge controller. Let me just show you here that when you have it, it has a little bit of travel distance, so you can still use it and not be completely a click like they have done on the previous one. That is like a click. But because they have done this, you can use it now fully. You can see it goes fully down, and you can use it for specific things on GameCube and beyond. So I think, for example, it's a Mario for the GameCube, Mario Sunshine. I don't like that game. That's why I don't really know about it. But that supposedly is a game that uses a lot the analogs on how much you will gonna output with the water. So it's kind of annoying when you don't have it, and now you do. Now you can have it and goes fully analog. So you're completely fine there. So obviously any game that was supporting this before for GameCube games, for Wii games, and everything like that will work. But they go even beyond that. That is what the craziness, I want to understand the craziness of this design, but I guess they didn't send out units to reviewers, so no one is reviewing this thing. It is like the best thing ever made. Like, what is going on? So, me overgassing. We continue. We have the triggers also, Hall sensing triggers, which means that there is not a thing inside that is going to rub over time and make it inaccurate on what you're doing. Supposedly, it will be the same always. And if it's not, you can probably reset it somehow and the effect inside, because it's Hall effect. There is nothing going on between things anymore. It's gonna be better. Now, as I said before, when you the thing that you're trading, for example, with non-Hall effects, is that you're losing a little bit of attention. So, for example, in this one is the Power Ray wireless that I was kind of using at the start of the Switch's life, but it had become annoying because it's smaller than the GameCube controller, and I think you get it, right? I cannot fully press this when I'm holding the controller. It's too small for me. So I guess this will be perfect for people with smaller hands, but for me with gorilla hands, yeah, this is good. This is good. They also have these genius buttons. Oh my god, I'm gassing. I know I sound like a seal, but I I swear I bought this. Um, and behind they had the similar buttons on the previous, but it's nowhere near as good as this one. They have really figured out, because you're gripping the controller like this, that you will it's a natural place for your hand to be and press it. You're not gonna feel any awkwardness. And because they know smashers are annoying and they're gonna complain if you use anything outside of your house, you can even remove this. And they have inside, let me just try to show how to do it. Yeah, and they even have inside a change that doesn't have this thing here, but it's gonna be empty. Now I'm not gonna do it, but it's here with the accessories, and in here on the bottom, it's a turbo button. So if you press it, you can have it turbo. So when you remove it, then you forgo the turbo as well. So it can be used for competition and everything if people getting uptight that you have macro buttons or whatever. The feeling and holding it, it feels very natural. The only thing, like on the previous one, is that you're gonna feel, if you're really used to original GameCube controllers, the Y and X buttons gonna feel a little bit different because they used to be elevated, like on this one. You can see it here. It's elevated, but on the other one it's not. They're all more kind of in the same height. So it will take a little bit of adjusting, but for what you're getting, definitely worth it. Definitely worth it, because in here they went even a further step ahead than before. This is normal membrane buttons, and to be honest, this A button is kind of bad. But you can live, unless you're a competitive player, you can live with that as well. But with here, they go even a further step beyond, and they're using optical micro switches. What is that? Is like, do you know about keyboards that they're using mechanical switches, right? It's the same kind of understanding. So inside it, it's like that kind of micro switch, but instead of coming with mechanical parts, they are coming with a sensor. Inside, it's a light sensor, and it detects when you're pushing it down. When you're pressing it, it detects with the light that it's on. So it's always consistent. It's supposed to be also about with wear and tear, so you're never going to have a problem with these buttons. The whole thing screams of, we made this and we want you to use it forever. That's how it feels. That's how they should have marketed this thing. Obviously, it screams like that. People that play competitive, the biggest thing is they destroy and the dead zones here go weird. Hall effect supposedly fixes that. So they did it. Now, they did it also for the triggers because a lot of people don't like it, even in competitions, to have it not be a simple press. So they changed even that. And they go a step farther and beyond, and they put micro switches inside. Micro switches that probably not going to be appreciated by many people because they don't understand how they work. But if you look up optical micro switches, you probably will understand why they're good for longevity reasons, because with one only optical sensor, it is way better than any micro switch how many buttons you're gonna push. Sure, you're losing kind of the clickiness, but who cares? Like, you don't expect to hear a mouse click here, so I think that is for the best. And that was not enough. They said no. That is not enough. We're gonna go even beyond. And they go. They go. I couldn't believe it. When I saw it, I saw this D-pad and I was like, this is gonna be some garbage, because I can't stress enough all the GameCube controllers that I have, from the originals to copies to Hori that has good D-pads. None of those D-pads are good. It's probably the first thing that goes out to reduce money, because they know GameCube players don't care about D-pad. But these guys, there is I truly believe that there is someone that designed this controller, and he either plays fighting games or he plays platformers competitively. I cannot believe that someone made this for a GameCube controller. So what we have inside here is the Saturn Mega Drive, I guess, D-pad, like this one, the M30 from 8-bit DO. And obviously it's not as loose because it's more tight, but everything, as you can hear here, has micro switches inside. So what this means is that it's extremely accurate. I couldn't believe when I saw I could do Street Fighter Third Strike combos with this. Obviously, the buttons were messed up because it's not the normal buttons, right? But you can remap them. That's not a problem. But the D-pad, you can do super reliably. It's even more reliable than this. Than this D-pad, because this D-pad is not good, but I had so many fight pads and none of them are as good as this. I can't believe it. It's just super accurate. And when you go, usually the thing with these pads here is that now these days they don't make it with switches individually, so you don't hear where if you're clicking something or if you're clicking something like, for example, a diagonal. Usually you will hear, but with this you hear the 2 clicks. You don't hear 1 click. So you know that the register happened for 2 ones. And for some may not seem exciting at all because this is like a GameCube controller. Who cares about the D-pad? But this is why it's amazing. It's something that no one cares about, and they decided to make it the best that it could be. Like, how is this even possible? And they go and they put it the same price as this. I think it goes for $69, both. And I'm like, what is even going on? I couldn't believe it. I played specifically games that will require D-pad precision. I played Metroidvania. I played, as I said, Third Strike for the 30th anniversary collection. Still, my head, I cannot believe that they did this for no reason. Like, no one asked them to put a very good D-pad, one of the best D-pads I have ever used for fighting games in this. And they did. For no reason. Haha, we did it. And they did. I just cannot believe how insane this is that I'm holding in my hands. Buying it with being completely super skeptical. There is no reviews outside. No one speaks about it. And you get it and it's the best thing ever. Really tells you about the reviewers and what they say they review for free and there is nothing there. I guess unless they send them the product, they don't really risk it themselves. Anyway, I don't want to rant about that, but it's just speculation. When this came out, everyone was talking about it, but when the best GameCube controller ever made came out, no one even tried to buy it. So it's so weird to me. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you have a beautiful day. I have never seen a controller that has blew me away so much for this little price, because if you see the stuff that they do here, this, you swear that this will be $200 and they will be like, well, you can use it everywhere, bro. It's the best controller there is for GameCube anything. And it's only $68. Woohoo! Anyway, this was the video. Like and subscribe and whatever garbage social media stuff. See you next time.